I met a gypsy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. And, you know, kind of coming back to what we're all saying is I think we're in agreement. There's a better process of doing it. It's just got to be structured better. But the reason I don't think we've seen anyone push for a better structure is it didn't put more money in that individual's pocket. So as long as someone themselves is not benefiting, but I almost want to say, you know, there's that old saying, you got to take one step back to go two steps forward.
Yeah.
If you have great racing and a healthy paddock, meaning a lot of riders, whether they're privateers, semi-privateer, full factory, if you've got fans of Cody Schock, Justin Bogle, I know we're repeating some of the same names, but there's plenty of other guys out there.
Dylan Schwartz.
If they're bringing in 500 fans and he's bringing in 300 fans because they want to watch him, or there's a section in the stands that's the Cody Schock section, or whatever it may be, a healthy pit area creates great racing. Great racing has proven over and over. The racing's been sensational lately, at least like outdoors and that, and it showed in the TV ratings. Yeah. I mean, they were just having record after record. The revenue from sponsors is more than it's ever been. Right now, we're in a good place because whether we saw this coming or not, COVID boosted motocross. I can't speak for the world, but in America, it took our sport to another level again. Our sport was we did this. We had the recession in 2008. It's been dipping, and then it flattened out, and it was okay. Bike sales were doing fine, but I mean, side-by-side sales overtook motorcycle sales, and I'm like, I never thought I'd see that, but it was happening. Now, your motocross entries are good. Your sponsorship in the series are doing really good. They've got more sponsors spending more money, and there's more money in the industry. This is a great time for people to sit down and go, okay, what can we do for the sport? Not for me, not for you, but the longevity of the sport. Let's share some of this love because there's enough to go around for everyone. Everyone can make a good penny. Feld can do well. MX Sports can do well. You know, obviously, and it's different for other companies. Red Bull don't get into motocross to make money. No, it's a form of advertising. Same with Monster. But they figured out ways to monetize their name, their image, their likeness with their athletes. And I'm like, that's brilliant. Let's do that on a bigger scale. Let's spread that, you know, to other layers of this. So anyway, I know we could go on for hours on this, but I would love to just see some grown men sit around a table and put egos aside and just have a real conversation about what's best for the sport, not what can I get out of it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a hard one to say, but I feel kind of like obligated to say it in a way. But I've got great relationships with like a couple of manufacturers here in Australia, and I know for a fact that sales are up like 40%, like 30, 40%. Like, and when you're talking about, when you're talking about a 30 to 40% increase on motorcycle sales, we're talking units that are fucking $12,000. That's a ton of money. And guys like Todd Waters that won the motocross championship last year should be getting a pay rise, you know. They're like, COVID, sorry, clip you from the program. And it's like, you just got a guy that has been a part of this program and now he doesn't have a fucking job. And then there's guys like, some dude DM'd me on Instagram the other day and he was like, how many guys in Australia would be making over $100,000 and how many teams in Australia would be profitable? I was like, what the is that? Okay, I get it that you don't have context to that, but it's like, to anyone that knows, it's like, hey, no one. But motorcycle sales are up, and you know the bean counters at these companies that have never probably watched a fucking race, like the accountant that works for some of these companies that is like releasing budgets and giving the okay for money to get spent, has probably never watched a fucking race in their life, you know? And that's where you are right. Like that, these companies need to go like, okay, and I've said this I've even got sponsors of this show where I've just said like, hey guys, you need to reinvest. Like this is the time right now. Like essentially motocross it's a wave. Like we've caught a wave. COVID has made people get into motorcycles. COVID has made people rebuy bikes. I think that everyone media wise is doing a great job. There's a fucking wave. It's like, we need to catch this wave. Like paddle fucking hard now and ride this wave, and you're gonna have to spend some money to do it. But this is the time where everyone that is involved in the industry, like, if you can, you should. And I mean, dude, I paid money to sponsor a 2-stroke class. You know, I ain't killing it, but I felt obligated. I'm like, I'm making money from this shit. Let's put it back in. Everyone should do it at any fucking level. And that's like, whether you're a local dude that is like, maybe I'll go race. Do a race. Go do a race. Help out the clubs. You know, like from the smallest level of just being an individual that, you know, like has an interest in riding. Go and race the vet class. You know, and then for the manufacturers, put this money in. Don't just keep this cash. Like, we got a chance to blow this shit up if we all reinvest. And it's like, I'm a business owner. I can't sit with just the equipment in this room and run forever. You know, like there's going to be a point in time where you got to expand, you got to grow, you got to reinvest. So that's my little rant on it. And it's, you know, if someone might get pissed off with it, but it is what it is.
I felt like the OEMs pulled back their spending purely based not on numbers, but oh my gosh, COVID.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say they found an excuse to cut spending, but I think some people may have overreacted in the beginning, and now they're going, oh, okay, but
yeah,
now we're in that awkward spot. We pulled back. We can't just release the reins overnight.
Yeah.
So you got this pullback, which seems like it shouldn't be happening because the opposite happened. Everyone's firing on all cylinders. I mean, I know, you know, our shop did well and all that. In fact, we had one or two, you know, we've been approached to sponsor some local, you know, amateur stuff in the area. And, you know, after chatting with my parents, I said, I'd like to. The only problem that we had at one point is we didn't have much product on the floor. And I said, I'm scared we go sponsor events. Yeah. And then people are like, sweet, let's go over to Langston Motorsports and get a motorcycle. And then they walk in and go, well, this is disappointing. So I said to them, the timing wasn't perfect for everything, but we are getting more involved. You know, like even, you know, with the whole Stasic craze, you know, that's going to be the future generation. Yeah. We're getting involved with a series that's purely Stasic related racing in SoCal here. Even at my son's high school, they didn't want to call it the Motocross Club, but it's called Dirty Wheels because there's people involved in everything from flat track to GNCC to there's girls that race quads and side-by-sides. And it's this whole group of just teenagers that are enthusiastic. And the guy that's running at the school, you know, he's in the moto and that. And he was like, hey, any chance you could help out? I said, whatever I can do, let me know. He's like, from your basic advice, maybe help these kids do, you know, teach them how to do basic maintenance on their bikes. I said, I can get some swag. We can do some discounts, some giveaways. I said, I'll even rent a track, do a track day, and all the kids can come and I'll help them with some basic riding skills or whatever it may be. Yeah. But I go, it feels good to be in a position now for me where I'm like, I can give back. So again, I want to give back. I'm going to do it at a smaller level. I'm not going to pour a bunch of money into a pro team that hopefully makes it one day. Hey, if there's a little something that we could do to just go, hey, you know what, that'll get you gas to get around, maybe we will. But we're doing stuff at ground zero level to help where we can in a small way, and also getting your feet wet. It's like, does this make sense? It's not always just about, here's a check. Once you get involved in these things, you physically have to be involved. Like you have to show up, be a face, be a part of it, and do the whole thing, not just cut a check and call it a day.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.